Hi, I'm Beth Trapani, and this is the third in a series of webisodes about teaching healthy eating to kids. It's sponsored by missionhealthyliving.org and funded by the Pottstown Health and Wellness Foundation. And our guest for this episode is Dr. Karlan Senseny, a kindergarten teacher at O&J Roberts. And Karlan, you do Tasty Tuesdays with kids. So tell us about that program, which is funded by the foundation.
Yes. Well, Tasty Tuesday is something that we have in kindergarten, and then we expanded it from kindergarten to 6th grade. And what it does is it offers a wide variety of different kinds of foods that are locally grown by, it's all sourced by orchards and farmers in our area, and allows children to have like a little taste, a healthy taste sample. But we really don't try to call it healthy. That's what something Yvonne said, which I agree with 100%. But we do call it a tasty sample. So they try it. And it was, the first year we did it was in kindergarten, as I said, and then it became so popular that we expanded it into the upper grades.
So this is a chance for kids to maybe eat something that they haven't eaten before, or that they're not, it breaks from the traditional chips and pretzels and things that they're eating. What's the response been from kids?
Well, the children initially, it's always funny, I always say I want to do a pre and a post test, because they're initially a little reluctant when they're having kale chips or sweet potato pancakes. But once they try it, it's just a little bit, they are really amazed at how different it is. And the exciting thing has been is they've gone home to their parents and shared this with the parents. And now the parents have been responsible for helping out with Tasty Tuesdays, because they come in and volunteer and prepare the food. And our data has shown that almost over 80% of the families, it has impacted their consumption, positive effect of consumption of vegetables and fruits.
That's a lot.
Yes, and that the parents have said in the survey that we did that they had either tried the food, the vegetable, the fruit that we had that day for Tasty Tuesday, or they prepared the recipe.
Do you think that it's a lack of information, knowledge? Do you think it's that parents don't want to fight over food with their kids? What do you think the resistance is?
I think that we have really lost the farm to home connection, or where our food comes from, because it is a story that we tell at kindergarten is we grow potatoes in our garden, our outside courtyard garden, and when we ask children where French fries come from, they say McDonald's. So we have found that was one of the pieces that we really have seen a loss or a lack of, is that children are not really getting that farm to food connection as they used to have in the past.
What are some suggestions for parents to reinstill that sense of knowledge?
We have an abundance of farmer markets that are just popping up all over the place. In fact, tomorrow one is opening up in West Vincent, right by the township building there, and it's all local farms and orchards that are there. So it's sort of like, I almost want to say, like a carnival of the different fruits and vegetables, and you actually get the farmer there so they can meet the farmer as well.
Terrific. And I'm sure taking them to a farm or growing vegetables
that really makes a big difference too. And I am a big believer. We take our children in my kindergarten to Maisie's Farm, which is it's a local organic farm. But we have sort of been introducing to them that whole concept of community supported agriculture, which is CSAs, so they can understand that they can, not only can they grow up and be a farmer, but they can also become a member of a farm, that they can get their own fruits and vegetables from that.
You focus on parent education as part of your program.
I do. I'm a big believer that, I can do it with the children and believe that children make a big difference, but I also believe that, I always say to my parents, whatever I teach here, if it's not supported when it goes through that door into your home, it's not going to be as effective as transmission as I'd like it to be.
And how about parents who say, my goodness, I get home from work and I have 20 minutes to get dinner on the table, the kids are starving, it's so much easier to just go through the drive-thru.
Right, and I think that is the case, but many of them I get different sayings like, I just can't believe that, if I just took that little time and we chopped up the vegetables and we did that, it made such a difference for them. And I know that's with the whole industry right now with, children eating, in the back of the cars, we sort of lost that too. And that's something I'm really into in my classroom. It's more of a slow food kind of movement, that we sit down, we eat, snack together. So I hear parents telling me, my child's asking me to do that at home.
That's terrific. That's great. What is your advice for parents who say, okay, I'm ready, I want to try to make a change? How can they incorporate some of what you're doing in the classroom into their home?
I would say start small. Like with anything with change, start small. And just try to get your child excited about it, and that's where it's been interesting, because it's rippling through, because the students that we started Tasty Tuesday with would have been 6 years ago. I still have parents coming to me and saying, thank you Thank you for
Wow.
what you kindergarten teachers did, because it has really impacted the difference of how my child wants to eat and chooses to eat. And they're much more aware of, Mom, when this is fresh and local, it tastes a lot better than when it's been possibly on the shelf at the grocery store for a while or from an outside country. So it's a big difference. And I think when we pick things in the garden, the children taste it, all of a sudden we're eating fresh peas, they're like, wow, these really taste good. As opposed to, I mean, and I always tease them, I say, well, Peter Rabbit, that's probably why he's in there eating the vegetables right away, because they're so fresh.
Right, right. Is there a difference between teaching a kindergartner versus a middle or high school age child?
I don't really have that experience that much. I know that when I talk to older students, I think they already have a different mindset about what they're going to do and what they're going to eat. I think that I see it's probably a little bit, for me at least, when I have more experience with kindergarten, obviously, but even when I've talked to older children, I see that already sort of those patterns have set in.
Right.
And where the younger ones are much more open, and I think that's the time when you get them earlier to start understanding why they're eating the way they're eating too.
So it's never too late, but if you can get them early, it's better.
I think so. I'm a big believer of that, because I think then that they already are building in those traditions of how they want to eat. And we talk about eating the rainbow of colors, and we have move and snack cards, and we have all these different things that we do with them. That's movement exercises, but at the same time, like if we're going to have blueberries for snack, there's a whole activity in these snack and move cards that we have that we can do with it too.
Do you think that there's more awareness today than there was 10 years ago?
Absolutely. I really do believe so.
People are starting to get the message.
Yes, very much so.
That's great. Well, certainly the program that you're doing is helping with all of that.
Well, thank you very much.
So,
thank you.
Great. Thanks so much. And again, this is the third in a series of webisodes on teaching kids about good nutrition, and sponsored by MissionHealthyLiving.org and funded by the Pottstown Health and Wellness Foundation.